from Debbie What, and it says, what job did you both have before the Stitch Sisters? So I used to be in insurance, financial services. My first job was with a company called Scottish Widows when I was up in Edinburgh, and I worked in their head office in Edinburgh. And then I moved to London and I worked for Standard Life, which is another insurance company. And then I moved around doing various different jobs in financial services, working for independent financial advisors and things like that. So it's always been office based. I was, my last proper job, I was a PA. And that is fundamentally my personality through and through.
Looking after other people.
Looking after everyone, organising everything, staying in control of all the diaries and everything like that, and doing all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I'm a fixer. Yeah, so that's me.
Yeah, well, I worked for 10 or more years in IT. Well, 12 or 13, I think. And so I was in sales. Originally, I was an account manager, and then I specialised in boring stuff and became a consultant. Boring stuff, it seems like such a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then after I had the kids, I did work for a short while in IT after I had my son. But then I tried a variety of different self-employment routes and I have done all sorts of things. So my biggest successes have been, I started a cupcake business when they first became a big thing, and I used to do cupcakes for weddings, you know, big displays of different things and whatever. And then I went from that to do vintage tea parties where my friend and I would dress up in whatever era people had hired us to do, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and we would turn up with a boot full of china and props and we would decorate their space and then serve them afternoon tea.
Yeah.
So they were both really fun jobs, but for one reason or another, the cupcake thing, I got sick of giving up all my weekends to go and do weddings, and the vintage tea party thing was always weekend work as well, and it just wasn't really working for family at the age that they were then. But in between that, before we started doing our sewing classes, I tried all sorts of other things. So at one point I was going to be an interior designer, and I did an interior design course. And then, this one always makes my husband laugh, I tried to be a rare book dealer. And I'd go around hunting for first editions. And I managed to sell one, and then I was like, right, I'm doing this for a job. And that was it, really. I didn't have any other success after that. So yeah, mainly creative things. I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit, I guess. But yeah, my favourite job is our one.
Yay!
For sure. I don't look back at any of the others and wish I still did them, or I've done them for longer.
No.
I think what we're doing right now is exactly what I want to be doing.
I used to do lots of commuting, so I used to be on have an hour and a half, 2 hour train journey to work and back again. Yeah. Now I just need to cross the road to your house.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I used to do a lot of commuting to the city for meetings in London, and it's nice.
I wish I had that salary.
Yes, yeah, that would be nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I would love that salary. But yeah, I mean, I guess the thing is that I always think in terms of work is if you ask yourself the question, if you won the lottery, would you continue doing what you're doing? Would you keep your job?
Yeah.
And I definitely would. Yeah. I'd be immediately thinking about all the ways we could grow. Yeah. But I certainly wouldn't be changing.
No. My husband's had the occasional kind of like, oh, we might need to. Possibly there might be a job opportunity down in Plymouth or in America or this, that, and I keep going, well, I can't move. That's it. Can't move. No, we're not moving. How are you going to be able to do that if we stay here? Can't do the Stitch Sisters from America.
No.
Not with one of us in America and the other one in the UK.
Well, we probably could, but it wouldn't be the same.
No,
I'd miss you too much. You can't ever leave me.
I'm not moving yet.
Right, next question from Maggie Barnes. Do you live close by each other? And if so, are you at each other's houses every day? Okay, so I live literally, I think I counted once, I live about 35 steps.
We live, so in the village, there's a big main road that comes right the way down through the centre of the village, and it's like a little crossroads crossing over. And my street's on one side and Rachel's is on the other.
Yeah, okay, so you do your hands like a cross. There's the crossroads, okay? So that's my house, and that's Nikki's house. So we just
And where's the pub?
And the pub is right in the middle. So we literally just walk diagonally across the road. It's a busy road sometimes. There's a lot of commuters that go through it. So sometimes it takes forever to cross the road. But it's really close. Rush hour, as rushed as it gets in the old subway. But yes, the other half of your question, we're at each other's houses
every day.
Pretty much every day,
Yeah. If we don't see each other, we at least are texting each other, or I know what she's doing. So we might not spend a day together.
Stalks me.
Because I've got cameras. But I know she's editing, or I'm doing something else, but we do usually see each other every day.
Yeah, we do. And sometimes if we're busy doing independent things, we're probably both working, but we've just got our separate jobs to be doing. Sometimes we'll just be running stuff over. There's always, I'm running over to get a pattern, or you're running over to pick up the camera or something. There's constant things. And we joked before about setting up a pulley system using the telegraph poles next to our houses.
Little baskets.
Just so that she can say, can you send me over that bow pattern? Yeah, here it comes. In fact, we're so close that when we first became friends, we all bought our kids walkie-talkies, didn't we? For Christmas, so that they could chat to each other.
Across the road.
They got bored of it quite quickly.
Yeah,
but for a while, they used to lay in bed at night and go, hi, what are you doing?
Maybe we should use that. Start using the walkie-talkie.
Yeah, we've got mobile phones. And so they now. So.
They don't need walkie-talkies. Right, next one is from Carly Badland. Was it love at first sight when you met your husbands?
I thought she was going to ask about us.
Oh.
You want to ask first?
I can ask first. Yes, it probably
What's
was. So my question. It was, I met my husband on a Saturday late afternoon where I'd got together to meet some friends, and there was friends from another office coming down to have some drinks for the afternoon, and we ended up sort of like spending the rest of the day and that evenings together. And the next day I had to phone my mother, because I phoned my mum every Sunday because I was in London and she's in Scotland, and I phoned her, and Tim was still with me, but he was in another room, and I remember whispering to her saying, I've met someone and I think he's really special. And that was after 24 hours, less than 24 hours.
That's so sweet.
And we've been married for 24 years this August.
Yeah.
So a long, long time. So, and we're going to grow old together. That's what we've decided.
That's so lovely.
And you?
Well, I don't think it was love at first sight. I remember thinking he was attractive. So he was my boss when I started at this IT company that we both used to work at. Well, he trained me. He wasn't technically my boss, but he trained me. And I remember thinking he was attractive, but I very quickly decided that he was very arrogant with it. And he says the same. He thought I was attractive, but he thought I was stuck up. And we were friends, kind of loose friends for a while, but then we became closer friends later on, as part of a big group. But I didn't really see him in that way. And then the funny thing is that one of my friends who I worked with said to me one day, why are you so flirty with him? And I was like, what? Am I? She said, yeah, you're always flirting with him. And as soon as she said it, I was suddenly aware of it. So when I was talking to him, I was like, you're really flirting. And then I realised that actually, I did find him very attractive. And I've been lying to myself all this time.
These years.
I've learned, the funny thing is, as I've got older, you learn more about how your brain works. And the thing that I found is that if I take an intense dislike to someone, a man, like, it usually means I find him attractive. I just haven't admitted that to myself. So sometimes people on the telly or whatever, I'll be like, oh no, I can't stand him. And then I have to think, hold on. I know what's going on here.
There's something more deep-rooted there.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, it was a very intense relationship when it started. So whatever lack of initial love at first sight there was, we certainly made up for it.
And how long have you been together?
We've been together. We've been together about 18 years, and we've been married for 15 in December.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
And very exciting. And your wedding anniversary is it Christmas Eve or
no? It's the 22nd.
22nd.
Yeah. So a couple of days before Christmas.
Oh, it's your question.
Oh right. Okay. Let's see. What have we got? From Glitter My Timbers, great name, by the way. Great name. What's your favourite weekday dinner recipe? Oh, do you know what? I'm going through a phase at the moment where I'm not doing a lot of cooking from scratch. When I do cook, I don't know if you can call it cooking, but we're having a lot of tacos at the moment. So that just generally involves chopping stuff, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, I might just do a bit of fish to go, or some chicken, or I might fry up some halloumi or something like that.
Yeah.
But other than heating the tacos and chopping a load of stuff, maybe making a salsa, then, you know, it's not a lot of cooking. My favourite thing at the moment is these little grain pouches that they sell in Waitrose.
You've got me addicted to them as well.
And it's kale and chickpeas and quinoa and all sorts of different things. Yeah, really healthy. And then I'll usually just fry off some chicken or some salmon. A hot smoked salmon is nice, and chuck that in as well. Or sometimes I'll just do some tomatoes and mozzarella or something like that. So we seem to have lots of different variations of lentil grain based meals.
Yes, quick and easy.
Yeah, my kids would say their favourite that is probably roast dinner, which my husband cooks these days.
Okay.
So they love it when we have a roast. So,
yeah. Pizzas in my house, homemade pizzas, obviously. Mum's homemade pizzas. And I've recently discovered chicken wings as well. So there's a really nice, easy, quick one, because I can prep them in the morning, put them in the fridge, and then they just take half an hour to cook with some baked potatoes and some corn on the cob and stuff like that. But it's difficult because my family, half of my family, my husband and one of my twins, are very fussy, and Dylan and I, who's my other twin, have exactly the same taste buds. So he and I could eat the same thing every day and we would be happy.
But it often means that between you, you're cooking 2 meals.
I'm very often cooking 2 meals, but sometimes, you know, they always eat the same thing. So it's not, or Dylan and I will eat the same thing, and Tim and Charlie will eat the same thing. So we kind of split it that way. But it's never anything too complex. In the week, it's simple things. I really like making a massive pot of chilli usually at the beginning of the week, and I make a massive pot of chilli, and then I get the satisfaction of putting 3 Tupperware pots of it in the freezer. Yeah. And then I just have to defrost it one day, which is great.
Yeah, I love this time of year. I love it when we get into barbecue season, because what I'll do is we'll have a barbecue one weekend, and I'll make enough food to feed the whole village. So I'll do chicken, I'll do ribs, and I'll do sausages, and I'll do fish, and I'll do all sorts of things. Way too much. And then we'll have a little bit of everything on the day of the barbecue. And I'll make 5 salads and all that sort of stuff, and then we'll eat leftovers for the rest 2 or 3 days afterwards, which I love because it takes no time at all, and some of it you can just eat cold. So it's like, what's for dinner? Barbecue again, and the kids go, yay! So, you know, everyone wins.
Fantastic. Right, let's get another one. Just have a look. This is a big one. I think it's just a big cut one. So, Joe Underhill, what other crafts do you do? What would you be doing if you weren't the Stitch Sisters?
Ooh.
So I obviously do all my hand sewing, which is sewing still, but I do embroidery, and I don't do anything else because I think I've done a lot of other crafts in my time, and the minute I found sewing, that was it. I felt as if it was love at first sight, love at first stitch. And I didn't really want to do anything else, and I don't think there is a lot of time in my brain for any other crafts. But I would like to do some art at some point. Because I think that's something that I really love. I'm a big appreciator of art, and
we're going to do those Skillshare classes.
I am going to do this. I'm going to learn to draw, teach myself to draw, and just give myself, you know, little challenges to do something every day or something like that, and just do it for fun rather than anything else.
Exactly.
You want to do the crafts one?
Well, I like lots of different bits and bobs, but I don't do much of it. So I have done a fair bit of crochet in the past, but I haven't crocheted anything for ages. I've learnt to knit, but again, it's not something that I do regularly. And I like embroidery as well. I also have done a lot of upcycling of furniture in the past. I don't know if you call that a craft. But most of the furniture in my house is second-hand, which I've then painted or distressed or something like that. So yeah, I it's mainly textiles.
Yeah.
I think. There's not really much
Textile based.
outside of that. But I love learning new things, and often it's more of a like, you know, it comes from a need. So
Yes.
if I need something or if I want something,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't just go into Anthropology and buy it, then I'll find a way to do it myself. So I've done a little bit of upholstery, only basic things, you know, footstools and very simple chairs. I'd like to do some more upholstery. That's something that I would definitely like to give more.
Yeah.
And I've started learning macrame as well. So.
Oh yeah. I love pottery, but again, it's something I can't do it at home. You need
Build a kiln in your garden.
Build a kiln and a potter's wheel in my garden just because I feel like it. But I love pottery. I like doing things with my hands, so it's that kind of tactile, you know, mud up to my elbows, that kind of getting properly mucky. I like things like that. So you know, maybe one day we'll go and have a pottery throwing class somewhere.
Yeah,
and just
I'd love to. I've always wanted. I've never actually tried using a potter's wheel, so I would love to see because it's funny because you watch these videos and they just make it look so simple.
Yeah,
and
it's
it
really
just,
not.
Yeah, but I think it'd be really funny to try.
Yeah, it's really great fun. I love that kind of that tactileness, the smell of the clay and the feel of it on your hands and stuff. I love it.
Yeah,
so.
I also love photography. And that's something that I'm learning. So I do a lot of online classes and that sort of thing. I'm always trying to improve my photography. And I think the thing I'm still learning is you know, what makes it is composition.
Yes.
Interesting compositions, because getting a photo to capture something in a photo and then make sure that the light levels are okay and whatever else, that technical side I seem to manage quite easily, but the more artistic side of just seeing things a little bit differently to the way most people would is something that I need to work on.
Excellent.
Lots of things. Yes. Okay. What have we got here? We are nowhere near halfway through these questions, by the way. So there's definitely going to be another one coming at some point. So Sarah Rose says, it was lovely to see me and my husband together in our wedding pics last weekend, the wedding that we went to, and she'd love to see more pics of our family members. We'll insert some here. So I have Joe, who's 13, and Ella, who is 11, and you have
Charlie and Dylan, who are twins, and they are 12 next month.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she says that she'd like to see pics of our homes and show off our interior decor skills, like my project, my bedroom thingy from a few weeks back. That's something we definitely want to start showing more of.
I think we might even do a video of
house tour.
Yeah. I'll show you my basement.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing with house tours is that they'd have to actually really tidy and clean the house.
Do some
No
cleaning.
one wants to see it the way it looks most of the time. And just tidy the little corner that you want to take a picture of.
Maybe we need to move the family out for a few days and then we'll do a house tour.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll do that at some point.
Excellent. Let's do another one. So, this is from Amy Briggs. What is your rule about saving fabric scraps? How large is large enough to save?
Ooh.
Right, so large enough to save, anything bigger than, I would say, sort of 2 inches, I would save. So if you've got a small scrap that's like that's big enough for patchwork, it's big enough for a lining of a pocket and things like that. And anything bigger than that I would keep. I don't keep thin strips, so anything that's sort of like the edges or anything like that. And any weird shaped bits, anything that's just kind of like a triangular shape, unless you can cut it off into a square. And I usually split them, so I will usually keep larger chunks and dressmaking fabrics separate, and I'll keep a basket with smaller like pieces for EPP and for small hand sewing projects and things like that. So I keep them separate, they're not all in one big thing. So keep the bigger pieces to one side and keep the smaller pieces to another in another box. It would be my advice.
Yeah, I probably don't keep them that small. So if I can, so mainly I'm only ever looking at it from a dressmaking point of view. So if I could fit a facing on it, then I might keep it. But when I say a facing, I don't necessarily want like the back neck facing to be in a different fabric to one side of the front neck facing, and then the other side of the front neck facing to be in a different fabric. So it would need to be enough to do all the facings, to do 2 armhole facings or 2 neck facings, or you know, waistband or something like that. So I would estimate that roughly a fat quarter would be about the size that I would
It's
keep.
only because I'm a hand sewer that
So a
I
fat
would keep
quarter
smaller
would be,
pieces.
I don't know, like like a ½ metre square, or maybe even
15 inches
maybe
square,
even
or
a 40
something.
centimetre square or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
I probably wouldn't keep anything smaller than that.
No, but I would. I have been.
But I
known to
do
go
make
through
sure
the
it gets
bins.
recycled if I don't keep it.
I sometimes used to go through the fabric bins at class
Yes.
now and take out scraps.
Yes,
for my
but then we
English
used to
paper
do lots of
making
scrap
classes.
busting projects, so
Yes.
we would keep all the scraps then, because you
Yeah.
never knew what size you were going to need.
Sewing machinations, is there anything you haven't made yet that you really want to? I want to make a ball gown.
Yeah.
I have no reason to wear one, but I want to make one. But proper corseted,
Yes.
strapless, big skirt with lots and lots of construction in it.
Yeah,
that's what I want to
that's
make.
the other thing that that's what I was going to say as well. A corset. I've read a lot about corsets. I understand the basics, but I've never actually done one.
Yeah.
But it does appeal to me.
Yeah.
I've done boning and steel boning in dresses and stuff before, so the principle's similar, but I've never put all those eyelets into anything.
No.
So that does appeal to me. But also proper bra making. I
Yes.
love some of the bras that people share on Instagram are just amazing. I mean, they look so professional, and I would love to do that. But what puts me off about that is, I mean, I will do it at some point to tick it off my bucket list. But I find that for me, I want bras to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And I know that if I go and buy a bra from M&S or whatever, then it is going to be comfortable because somebody has spent, years in R&D making sure that it is comfortable.
Yeah.
And I would worry that I'd put all that time and love into something, and then I'd spend the whole time like secretly hating it, but still wearing it because I made
you
it.
made it, yeah, because you put all that effort in.
So that kind of puts me off a little bit. But I'd say corsets and lingerie.
Yes, excellent.
Okay, so we're going to do one more question because we're going to need to go and pick the kids up very soon.
Yeah.
And we've done an hour, and we think that that's all we've got time for today. But we've got loads more questions, so we'll probably film another Q&A in a month if you'd like to see it. So let's just do this last question here. So this one is from Smills0501. And it says, how do you balance sewing as a hobby and a full-time job and still enjoy both? And that's a tricky one. It is a tricky one because there are times when we've got a lot of making to do for a job.
Yeah.
And especially recently, I did lose my sojo for a bit just because it was all feeling a bit too much like work. So the way I balance it is I just listen to myself. Like if I don't feel like doing it, don't do it. Because what I find is if I get into the sewing room in the wrong headspace, I make mistakes that I wouldn't normally make. I rush things. I'm not always happy with the finished results.
No.
Whereas if I'm in a good headspace, I'm actually enjoying it, then I put a lot more care and love into what I'm doing and tend to do less unpicking and everything else. So if I do find that it's all feeling a bit much like work, I take a step back, and then I always find that it comes back. There's something that inspires me that I desperately want to make, and then I want to get back.
And you can be so blindsided as well by that project. So whatever it is that's got her excited.
Well, it's not just about sewing. I mean, I have tunnel vision with everything. So like literally I have a one-track mind. So whatever it is that I'm obsessing about, there's no room for anything else.
No.
And that does mean that in terms of balancing sewing for work and sewing for a hobby, you kind of like don't have much choice with me, because if there's something personal that I wanted to make and it's stealing my time, my brain time from work related stuff, I have to say to Nikki, I'm sorry, I just got to get this done because I'm not going to function properly until I've got it out of the way.
And it's much better to allow you to do that, because then she kind of like, it's almost like a weight's lifted and she can kind of concentrate on other things.
Yeah.
So,
and the other main thing that we found is that we have to accept that we're not going to be in the same place at the same time, sewing wise. So sometimes, especially with personal sewing, so whilst I lost my sojo recently, you were on fire, just banging things out left, right and centre. And in the past, that might have made me feel like, oh, I should be doing more sewing. But I've learned to just go, no.
No, you don't
That's
need
fine.
to, because there'll be another time when you're like that.
And well, it
not.
was a few months ago when
Yeah.
it was the other way around.
Yeah.
So you just have to not
Exactly.
try and be in the same place all the time.
No.
And just listen to kind of how you feel.
And just try and keep making it fun if you can. And you know, we've got lots of things to start. We've got a summer wardrobe for our holiday and things like that, and we've got lots and lots of projects planned. And what we keep saying to each other is we're going to spend a couple of days just concentrating on that and sewing together.
Yeah.
Which I can't,
Yeah, we haven't done for a long time.
I can't remember the last time we sewed together because we've just been too busy. So actually doing that and enjoying it, and we'll stop and we'll go out for lunch halfway through the day and stuff like that, and it'll be fabulous.
Yes. Although the one rule that we do have, we don't always stick to it, but we do try and stick to it, is that sewing for work has to happen in the week, has to happen weekdays, Monday to Friday. Sewing for personal can be done at the weekend. But we try and avoid sewing for work at the weekends, because that should be personal time. And unless we're really, really busy and we can't avoid it, then, or if we're really excited about making the work thing and we don't want to wait, then that's fine. But other than that, we try and keep it.
It is, you have to try and separate it.
Yeah.
Because if you're expected, if you're giving yourself that expectation that you have to finish it over the weekend, you don't always have time to sew at the weekend. And then if suddenly you're having to interject 4 hours of doing something which is for work, you'll begin to resent it. So it means that you can do that in the week. The weekend is free. You can do your own sewing if you want, but you can not if you're busy or if you don't want to. And that's the great thing about it.
Yeah, we try and remember, don't we, shoulds and coulds.
Yes.
So weekdays are for shoulds.
Yes.
Do all the things you should do because it's work time. So get it done. Weekends are for coulds. I could do that, but no shoulds.
Yeah,
no shoulds are allowed at the weekend.
I should be doing this. No, you shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't.
It's Saturday.
Yes. And we often say to each other now, is that a should or a could? So I think that's all we've got time for, guys. We hope you've enjoyed our little Q&A, and we will probably
do another one.
Yeah, we'll do another one for all the other questions very soon. And we'll be back soon with another video.
See you again.
Bye.
Bye.